Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming your way. Before we begin, we'd like to take this opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and stay up to date on all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which greatly strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. What Jayden Daniels' bad streak really reveals about the Commanders' future. There's no problem in admitting he's human. While Washington Commanders fans watched Drake May and Caleb Williams lead their teams to playoff victory during the wild card weekend, a narrative that had been developing throughout the season only became more uncomfortable. It was supposed to be the Commanders' team. It was supposed to be Jayden Daniels, the jewel of the 2024 NFL Draft quarterback class. He's good, they're bad, we win, they lose. It would never be as simple as prematurely celebrating victory after Daniels' historic rookie year when he led Washington to the NFC Championship game. That also doesn't mean the moment can't change in his favor. Welcome to the NFL. Life changes fast, and we all need to accept that. Adjusting the conversation about Jayden Daniels starts with accepting who he is. Regardless of how you analyze Daniels' second season, it was a disappointment. The slump happened. He couldn't stay on the field, and that matters. Even as a rookie, Daniels wasn't the same anymore. His numbers regressed in all areas, and his flaws became evident. Visibly, he didn't have the same natural dominance of the offense that he demonstrated in 2024. His completion percentage rose from 69% to 60.6%. Meanwhile, reducing his rate of uncontrolled runs, which should have been a focus in his second year, increased by almost 3 percentage points. These are valid concerns. While not to dismiss him in any way, fans and coaches need to be honest. It has never been more difficult to have critical conversations about athletes than it is today. There are two types of players in sports, those who are the personal saviors of their fans and those who exist only to be scapegoats. If you say anything negative about the first type, which Daniels certainly fits into, then you're a hater. Everyone wants their quarterback to be perfect. They want him to be the kind of guy you can put the ball to and trust that good things will always happen. They want him to be someone no one questions, criticizes, or says a single negative word about. They want them to be something greater than human. That's neither realistic nor healthy. The Washington Commanders are the main team to watch in the race for Mike Tomlin. On Tuesday afternoon, the Pittsburgh Steelers surprised the NFL by announcing that head coach Mike Tomlin would be leaving his post after 19 seasons. After a historic 19-season run in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin has just informed his staff that he is leaving his position as head coach of the Steelers, according to sources from Jeremy Fowler and myself, reports Adam Schefter. The Steelers will now be searching for their fourth head coach since 1969. It is unknown whether Tomlin will join other former AFC North coaches, Kevin Stefanski and John Harbaugh, in the search for a new head coach for 2026. If he doesn't, he will immediately become the leading candidate for 2027, and it is in this scenario that a team like the New York Jets becomes a strong contender should they decide not to hire Aaron Glenn. Will the Washington Commanders try to hire Mike Tomlin? If the Commanders have another bad season, it's very likely they'll fire Dan Quinn. Quinn has already fired both offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury and defensive coordinator Joe Witt, which, according to Jordan Schultz, may not have been his decision. Part of the problem the Commanders have faced internally is the front office's interference with the coaching staff regarding the roster and the players to be used, a recurring problem since 2024 when the team was on the rise, Schultz reports on X. With the team struggling this year, this situation has worsened and there have been notable disagreements. Furthermore, I didn't get the impression that Dan Quinn wanted to get rid of his coordinators. In that case, Quinn will be under pressure from general manager Adam Peters and potentially owner Josh Harris, Therefore, if the Commanders fail to qualify for the playoffs for the second consecutive season, it's likely Quinn will be fired, which would pave the way for Tomlin. Some may wonder why Tomlin would be interested in the Commanders' coaching job. Well, for starters, he's from the area. He went to high school in Newport News, Virginia, and his son attended college at the University of Maryland. Furthermore, the Commanders have an elite quarterback in Jayden Daniels, something many Tomlin supporters argue is the only missing link in Pittsburgh, preventing them from being true title contenders since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement. Considering these two key factors, don't be surprised if a year from now, we're talking about Mike Tomlin as the new head coach of the Washington Commanders. A blockbuster deal earns the Commanders a $106 million contract with an All-Pro. So many things had to go wrong for the Washington Commanders in 2025 for them to finish with a 5-12 record one season after going 12-5 in 2024 that it's impossible to pinpoint just one thing that needs fixing for 2026. But on defense, we can safely say that the most critical aspect currently lacking is an elite pass rusher, something the Commanders could address this offseason with a trade. Alex Ballantyne of Bleacher Report believes the Commanders could be the ideal partner for the Las Vegas Raiders in a trade involving the disgruntled NFL All-Pro defensive lineman Maxx Crosby. In the scenario proposed by Ballantyne, the Commanders give up their 2026 first-round pick, 7th overall, their 2027 first-round pick, and their 2026 fifth-round pick, 145th overall, for Crosby, which is likely one more first-round pick than necessary. If the Commanders can reduce this to just the 2026 first-round pick and perhaps move the 2027 pick up to the third round, it might be acceptable to both sides. The Raiders already have the first overall pick in the 2026 draft, which they will almost certainly use to select Heisman Trophy winner and Indiana University quarterback Fernando Mendoza. It will take a competitive team that can absorb Crosby's contract while also enticing the Raiders with draft picks, Ballantyne wrote on Tuesday, January 12th. The Commanders fit that profile. They have about $89.8 million in salary cap space and the potential for a big comeback next season with a healthy Jayden Daniels. Washington's struggles this season give them the advantage of a top 10 pick to offer Las Vegas. Dan Quinn would get the star pass rusher they need to improve the Commanders' defense, and the Raiders could potentially add a quarterback with the first overall pick and a key defensive prospect with the 7th. Crosby played for teams that always lose in Las Vegas. Crosby, at 6'3" and 222 pounds, was selected in the 4th round of the 1919 NFL Draft and is a 2-time NFL All-Pro and 5-time Pro Bowler with 69.5 sacks in his first 7 seasons. He also just signed a 3-year extension contract worth $106.5 million starting in March 2025. While Crosby's position among the NFL's best players has only grown in 7 seasons, this is even more remarkable because he achieved it playing for such poor teams. In Crosby's 7 seasons, the Raiders had a winning record and reached the playoffs only once, finishing 10-7 and losing in the AFC wildcard round in 2021. Las Vegas has a record of 7 wins and 27 losses in the last 2 seasons, and after